But I always like to tell the story, since we're talking history, of my first meeting when I went to the White House as a leader. I've been to the White House many times as an appropriator, as an intelligence person for years. So I wasn't particularly apprehensive about the meeting, and I didn't think that much about it, just going to another meeting at the White House. But as the door closed behind me in this room, it was a small room, president, vice president, and the leaders, House and Senate, Democratic and Republican, very small group. As soon as the door closed, I realized that this was unlike any other meeting I'd ever been to in the White House. In fact, it was unlike any meeting any woman had ever been to in the White House, because I was there not at appointee of the president, as important as that would be, but by dint of being elected by my colleagues to represent them at the table. And as I sat down, President Bush was president, ever gracious, always gracious, George W. Bush, father too, I loved him. But this was George W. Bush. And as he was welcoming me as, a new leader coming to the table, this or that, I felt very closed in at my chair, very closed in my chair. I never felt anything quite like it. And all of a sudden, I realized that on the chair with me was Susan B. Anthony, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Lucretia Mott, Sojourner Truth, Alice Paul, you name it. They were all there on the chair with me. And I could hear them say, "At last, we have a seat at the table." And then they were gone. Never had that experience before or since. Last they were gone. My first thought was, we want more. So those women were so courageous. They took abuse. They worked so hard. They had an idea. They had a vision. They had a knowledge of why they wanted to get this done. They had a plan to do it. They thought strategically, and they connected with other women and other like-minded people across the country. And it took decades, but they, the ones who started it, made it happen. So I just am in awe of the courage that they had.